The soup burns her hand. Amma drops the bowl, watches it shatter across the tile floor. Kimchi jjigae spreads like blood. Red, steaming, unstoppable. Her fingers throb. The old wall clock reads 11:47 p.m., 3 hours past closing. But it's not the burn that makes her breath catch. It's the man in the corner booth. The way he's staring at her, like he already knows she's about to ruin her entire life. Here's what you need to understand before this story destroys you. The stranger Amma is about to feed controls every building, every business, every breath taken in this city. He owns the police, the politicians, the underground. And in exactly 7 days, he'll make Amma choose between saving the only family she's ever known or watching them burn alive. The decision she makes tonight, feeding this man when she should have called the cops, will haunt her until the final second of this story. Stick around, because what happens next will leave you speechless. I'm sorry. Her voice cracks. I'll clean it. I'll make another. The man in the corner booth doesn't move, doesn't blink, just watches her with eyes like black ice. Rain hammers the diner windows. Elder's diner sits empty except for them. Her and this stranger who walked in 20 minutes ago soaked through, demanding food when the kitchen was already shut down. Mrs. Kim had gone home. Mr. Kim was in the back, counting money. Just Amma and this man who looks like he costs more than this entire building. His suit probably cost 3 months of her rent. Custom fit, perfectly pressed despite the downpour outside. Black hair slicked back, jaw sharp enough to cut glass. But his eyes, they're what make her stomach twist. Cold, calculating, like he's solving an equation and she's just a number. She grabs the mop. Her sneakers squeak against the floor as she cleans. The smell of fermented cabbage and gochugaru fills her nose. Her hands shake. Not from the burn, from something else. Something she can't name. Before we continue, besties, please like and subscribe. It's the simplest way to support this channel and help these stories keep coming. We drop new, emotionally gripping stories every day just for you. And don't forget to comment where you're watching from and what time it is there. I'd love to see how far this story of love and destiny has reached. Make it again. His voice cuts through the silence, smooth, controlled, American accent with the faintest Korean edge underneath. Amma's head snaps up. Sir, I'll wait. It's not a request. She rushes back to the kitchen. Her heart pounds against her ribs. 15 minutes later, she carries out a fresh bowl. This time, her hands don't shake. She sets it down carefully, steps back. He takes one bite, then another, closes his eyes. For the first time since walking in, something crosses his face. Not quite a smile, something softer, more dangerous. Who taught you? He asks. Mrs. Kim. She runs this place with her husband. The recipe. He opens his eyes. It's perfect. Exact proportions, temperature, even the radish is cut correctly. He takes another spoonful. You didn't learn this in a few months. Amma's throat tightens. I've been here 2 years. They took me in when I had nothing. From where? Nigeria. I came here for school, dropped out, stayed. He studies her face like he's memorizing every detail. The scar above her left eyebrow, the mole on her cheek, the way her braids are tied back with a rubber band because she can't afford proper hair ties. What's your name? Amma. He stands, 6'2". Towers over her 5'4" frame, pulls out a money clip, thick with $100 bills, peels off 3, drops them on the table. The meal was $12, Amma says. I know. He walks to the door, stops, turns back. Tell the Kims to sell. Amma's blood runs cold. What? This building. Tell them to sell. Soon. His hand rests on the door handle. Before someone makes them. Who are you? But he's already gone. Swallowed by the rain and darkness outside. Amma stands frozen. The $300 sit on the table. The empty bowl still steams. And somewhere in the back of her mind, an alarm starts ringing. The door to the kitchen swings open. Mr. Kim shuffles out, smiling, counting bills in his weathered hands. Amaya, you can go home now. I'll lock up. She opens her mouth to tell him about the stranger's warning. About the money. About the ice-cold feeling crawling up her spine. But before she can speak, Mr. Kim's phone rings. He answers. Listens. His face drains of color. The bills slip from his fingers, flutter to the floor like dying birds. No, he whispers. That's impossible. We own this building. He drops the phone. Amma catches it, presses it to her ear. A woman's voice, official and emotionless. 30 days to vacate the premises. Failure to comply will result in immediate legal action and forced removal. This is your final notice. The line goes dead. Mr. Kim sinks into a chair, stares at nothing. Mr. Kim? Amma's voice sounds far away. What's happening? He looks up at her. His eyes are empty, defeated. Someone just bought our building out from under us. The $300 on the table suddenly feel like blood money, and Amma realizes with crushing certainty the stranger didn't come here for the food. He came to watch their world end. Who is this man, and what does he really want with the Kims? Drop a comment with your theory because what's coming next will blow your mind. The eviction notice sits on the counter like a death sentence. Amma stares at it. 6:23 a.m. She hasn't slept. Neither have the Kims. Mrs. Kim's eyes are swollen from crying. Mr. Kim hasn't spoken since the phone call. The letter arrived by courier at dawn. Official, legal, absolute. Mandatory sale, new ownership. 30 days to vacate. J.H. Holdings. I don't understand. Mrs. Kim's voice cracks. We paid off the mortgage. The building is ours. How can someone just take it? Mr. Kim finally speaks. His voice is hollow. The property tax. I missed a payment 6 months ago. Business was slow. I thought I could catch up. One missed payment? Amma grabs the letter. They can't seize your building for one. They can if they buy the debt. Mr. Kim's hands tremble. That's how they do it. Buy the debt from the city, then foreclose. It's legal. His voice breaks. Mrs. Kim buries her face in her hands. Amma's mind races. The stranger. His warning. Tell them to sell. Before someone makes them. He knew. He knew, because he was the one doing it. What's J.H. Holdings? She asks. I don't know. Mr. Kim pulls out a business card, black with silver lettering. A man came last week. Before this. He offered to buy the diner, said his company was interested in the block. We said no. Amma takes the card. J.H. Holdings, Sungho Jang, CEO. The room tilts. Did you get his name? Her voice sounds distant. The man who came? He said to call him Mr. Jang. The stranger. The man from the rain. The man who ate her kimchi jjigae and left $300. The man who looked at her like she was already gone. I need to go. Amma rips off her apron. Where? Mrs. Kim asks. To fix this. She's out the door before they can stop her. F***ass. 2 hours later, Amma knows 3 things. 1. Sungho Jang owns 70% of Koreatown. 2. Everyone who refused to sell to him lost everything within 60 days. 3. No one who fought back is still in Los Angeles. She sits in a library, scrolling through articles that make her stomach turn. Business owners who suddenly faced health violations, restaurants shut down for mysterious gas leaks, one man's car exploded in his driveway, police called it an accident. Then she finds the blog post, The Ghost of Koreatown, posted by user TruthSeeker88 2 years ago. J.H. Holdings doesn't negotiate. They identify, they offer. You refuse, then the accidents start, your permits get denied, your suppliers disappear, your customers stop coming, and when you're broken and desperate, they buy your property for nothing. I tried to fight, I tried to expose them. Now I'm writing this from a motel in Nevada with everything I own in 2 suitcases. If you're reading this, get out, before they erase you too. The post ends there. The account deleted, every comment scrubbed. Ama's phone buzzes. Mrs. Kim, please come back. We need you. But Ama's already standing, already walking out of the library, already making the decision that will either save them or destroy everything. She pulls up Seung-ho's business address, 10 blocks away. Her phone buzzes again. Unknown number. She answers, says nothing. Silence, then breathing. Slow, controlled. Stop digging, Ama. A man's voice, not Seung-ho's, rougher. Go back to the diner. Forget what you read. Her heart stops. How do you know We know everything. Where you live? Where you work. That your visa expired 93 days ago. The voice drops lower. ICE would love to know where to find you. Who is this? Someone trying to save your life. A pause. There's a car outside the library. Black sedan. Look out the window. Ama's legs move on their own. She walks to the window. A black car sits across the street. Engine running. Tinted windows. See it? The voice asks. That's your future if you keep going. Last chance. Walk away. Or we make you disappear. The line cuts. Ama stands at the window, watching the car. Her reflection stares back, scared, small, powerless. Then she sees her own eyes. Something hard crystallizes behind them. She walks out of the library, straight toward the black sedan. The window rolls down. A man with a buzz cut looks out. Surprise flickers across his face. Tell Seung-ho Jang I'm coming to see him, Ama says. Right now. And if anyone tries to stop me, I'm calling every news station in Los Angeles and telling them exactly what he's doing to the Kims. The man's jaw tightens. You're making a mistake. Maybe, but it's mine to make. She turns, starts walking towards the financial district. Behind her, the black sedan's engine revs. It follows her, slow, patient, like a predator stalking prey. Ama's hands shake, but she doesn't stop, doesn't look back. 10 blocks, 20 minutes. The high-rise looms ahead, glass and steel and power. Her phone buzzes, the same number. She answers. Last chance, the voice says. I don't take chances. I make them. She hangs up, walks into the building. The receptionist's eyes widen when Ama gives her name. She makes a call. Listens. Her face goes pale. 23rd floor, she whispers. He's expecting you. The elevator feels like a coffin. Each floor that passes makes Ama's chest tighter. She's walking into a trap. She knows it. But the Kims are worth it. The doors open. The hallway is empty. Silent. A single door at the end stands open. Light spills out. Ama forces her legs to move. She reaches the door, steps inside. Seung-ho sits behind his desk. He's not alone. 4 men in suits line the walls. Their hands rest inside their jackets. Their eyes track her every movement. And standing beside Seung-ho, a woman in a red dress smiles. Her teeth are perfect. Her eyes are dead. Ama. Seung-ho's voice is soft, almost gentle. I was hoping you'd come. He stands, walks around the desk. You're brave. Stupid, but brave. He stops 3 feet away. Do you know what happens to brave people who cross me? Ama's throat is dry. I didn't come here to be scared. No? He tilts his head. Then why did you come? To make you an offer. Everyone in the room goes still. Seung-ho's eyes narrow. I'm listening. Ama takes a breath. Leave the Kims alone. Let them keep the diner. And You'll what? He steps closer. You have nothing. No money, no power, no legal status in this country. His voice drops to a whisper. What could you possibly offer me? Ama meets his gaze, doesn't flinch. Information. His expression doesn't change, but something flickers behind his eyes. Interest, curiosity. What kind of information? The kind that explains why a man worth $800 million personally visits a failing diner at midnight to threaten an old Korean couple. She pauses. You didn't come for the building. You came for something else. The silence stretches. Heavy. Dangerous. Then Sung-ho smiles. It's the most terrifying thing Ama's ever seen. You're smarter than I thought. He turns to the woman in red. Clear the room. The four men leave. The woman hesitates, then follows. The door clicks shut. Ama and Sung-ho, alone. Sit, he says. I'll stand. Sit. It's not a request anymore. Ama sits. Sung-ho leans against his desk, studies her. You're right. The building means nothing, but you... He pauses. You made me something that night, something I haven't tasted in 12 years. Kimchi jjigae. My grandmother's kimchi jjigae. His voice changes, softer, haunted. Exact recipe, down to the last grain of sesame. She died when I was 17. Took the recipe with her. I've searched every restaurant in Los Angeles, every chef, every grandmother in Koreatown. He looks at her, really looks at her. Then you served it to me, perfectly, like she was standing in that kitchen. Ama's heart pounds. Mrs. Kim taught me. She learned from her sister, who learned from my grandmother. He pushes off the desk, walks to the window. Mrs. Kim is my aunt. Elder's Diner was built with my family's money. And that building, his jaw clenches. That building was stolen from us 30 years ago when my family lost everything. The floor drops out from under Ama's world. What? The Kims aren't victims. Sung-ho's voice is ice. They're thieves, and I've spent 15 years getting back everything that was taken from me. He turns, looks at her, including that diner. Ama can't breathe, can't think. You're lying. Am I? He opens a drawer, pulls out a file, throws it on the desk. Read it. Property records, loan documents, everything. The Kims didn't buy that building. They stole it from my dying grandfather while my family was grieving. Ama's hands shake as she opens the file. The documents swim before her eyes. Dates, signatures, legal language she barely understands. But one thing is clear. The Kims' story. Everything they told her about building the diner with their own hands is a lie. No, her voice breaks. They wouldn't. They're good people. They saved me. They're survivors, just like you, just like me. Sung-ho walks to her, crouches down, looks into her eyes. Now you have a choice. Help me take back what's mine, or watch me destroy them anyway. Ama's world is spinning. Everything she thought she knew, shattered. Everything she fought for, a lie. And the man she thought was a monster, he might be the only one, telling her the truth. What devastating secret is Sung-ho about to reveal next? Comment now because you won't believe what happens in the next chapter. Ama runs. Out of Sung-ho's office, down the elevator, through the lobby, into the street where the sun is too bright and the air is too thin and nothing makes sense anymore. The Kims are liars. The words pound in her head with every step. She doesn't know where she's going, just away from Sung-ho, away from the truth that's ripping apart everything she believed. Her phone rings. Mrs. Kim. She answers. Did you steal the diner? Silence, then crying. Ama, please, come back. Let us explain. Did you steal it from Sung-ho's family? It's not that simple. You don't understand what... Ama hangs up. She keeps walking. Her vision blurs. Tears burn, but she won't let them fall. Not here. Not where people can see. She ends up at a park, sits on a bench, stares at nothing. Her phone buzzes. Text from unknown number, corner of 5th and Spring. Coffee shop, 2nd floor, come alone. She should delete it. Should go home. She stands up, starts walking. 20 minutes later, she climbs stairs to a small coffee shop, 2nd floor, nearly empty. A woman sits in the back corner, hood up, sunglasses on. Ama sits across from her. The woman pulls down her hood, removes her glasses. She's maybe 40, Korean, beautiful in a way that speaks of money and privilege. but her eyes are haunted, scared. You went to see him, the woman says, not a question. Who are you? Someone who made the same mistake you're making. She leans forward. Sung-ho Jang doesn't just take buildings, he takes lives, piece by piece, until there's nothing left. He says the Kims stole from his family. He's not lying. The woman's voice drops. But he's not telling you everything either. Ama's hands curl into fists. Then tell me, the Kims did take the building. But they had no choice. Seung-ho's grandfather was dying. The family was falling apart. The old man signed everything over to the Kims to keep the business alive. Legal. Documented. Above board, she pauses. But Seung-ho was 17. Angry. Grieving. He never forgave them for what he saw as theft. So he's been planning this for 15 years. Building an empire. Buying up everything his family lost. Destroying anyone who stood in his way. The woman's hands shake. I was his lawyer. Helped him build JH Holdings. Helped him crush dozens of businesses. Then I found out what he was really doing. What? Using the real estate as a front for something darker. Money laundering, human trafficking. Things I can't even speak about without. She stops, looks around. I tried to leave, tried to expose him. He ruined me, took my law license, my savings, everything. Now I help people get out before it's too late. She slides a card across the table. Safe Haven Relocation Services. Take the Kims and run. Tonight, I can get you new identities, new city, new lives. Before Seung-ho, no. Ama pushes the card back. I'm not running. Then you're choosing death. I'm choosing the truth. Ama stands. If Seung-ho's doing what you say, someone has to stop him. You can't stop him. I tried. Others tried. We're all either dead or hiding. Then I'll be the first who doesn't. The woman grabs her wrist. Listen to me. Seung-ho doesn't lose, ever. And the people who fight him, they don't just lose. They disappear. Families disappear. Entire bloodlines erased. Ama pulls free. Thanks for the warning. She walks out. Down the stairs, into the street. Her phone rings immediately. Unknown number. She answers. What? You met with Kim Soo-jin. Seung-ho's voice. Calm. Cold. Former lawyer. Current fugitive. Currently wanted for embezzlement. Ama's blood freezes. You were watching. I'm always watching. A pause. Go back to the diner. The Kims are waiting. And Ama? Bring your things. You're moving out of that apartment. Tonight. Why would I? Because in 3 hours ICE is raiding your building. Anonymous tip. Very detailed, very accurate. His voice softens. Unless you're at the diner. With me. When it happens. The line goes dead. Ama stands frozen on the sidewalk. People flow around her. The city moves forward. Indifferent. She has 3 hours. 3 hours to decide if she's going to fight or run. 3 hours before everything ends. She starts walking. Not toward her apartment. Not toward the diner. Toward the police station. The precinct smells like coffee and defeat. Ama walks up to the desk sergeant. I need to report extortion, threats, illegal seizure of property. The sergeant looks up, bored. Name? Ama Okafor. I'm here about Seung-ho Jang, and the sergeant's expression changes. Hardens. JH Holdings? Yes. He's forcing people to. I'm going to stop you right there. The sergeant sets down his pen. You got proof. Documents? Recordings? I have the eviction notice. The threats. Everything. Bring it. Come back with a lawyer. File a formal complaint. Until then, there's nothing I can do. Nothing you can do. Or nothing you will do? The sergeant's eyes narrow. Watch yourself. Behind him, another cop looks up, makes eye contact with the sergeant, shakes his head slightly. Ama's stomach drops. They know. The police know what Seung-ho is doing, and they're not going to stop him. You should leave, the sergeant says quietly, while you still can. Amma turns, walks out. Her legs feel numb. On the street, she checks her phone. 2 hours left. Text from unknown number. Smart girl. You tried the legal way. See how that worked out? Now try my way. Diner, 1 hour, or ICE takes you tonight. Another text. This one from Mrs. Kim. Amma, please, come back. 2 men are here. They're tearing apart the kitchen, looking for you. Please. Amma closes her eyes, breathes. She's out of options, out of time, out of hope. Her phone rings. She answers without looking. Clock's ticking, Sung-ho says. What's it going to be? Why me? Amma's voice cracks. Why not just take the diner and be done with it? Silence, then. Because you reminded me of something I forgot. Something my grandmother taught me before she died. His voice changes, something human underneath the ice. That the best revenge isn't destruction, it's transformation. I don't understand. You will. Come to the diner, see what I'm really offering, then decide. And if I say no, then the Kims lose everything. You get deported, and I go back to being the monster everyone thinks I am. A pause. But if you say yes, everything changes. What are you asking me to do? Save them. Save yourself. Save me. The line goes dead. Amma stands in the middle of the sidewalk. People rush past. The city breathes around her. She looks at her phone, checks the time. 1 hour and 47 minutes left. She starts walking toward the diner. She doesn't know what's waiting for her there. Doesn't know if Sung-ho is offering salvation or damnation. But she knows one thing. The woman she was this morning, scared, small, powerless, is gone. And whatever happens next, she's ready. Amma reaches the diner at 4:33 p.m. The closed sign hangs in the window, but the door's unlocked. She pushes it open. The Kims sit at a table, pale, terrified, hands folded, like prisoners waiting for execution. Sung-ho stands by the window, watching the street. He doesn't turn when she enters. You came, he says. Tell me what you want. Now he turns, studies her. I want my family's legacy back. I want justice for what was taken from us. He walks closer. But I don't want blood. Not anymore. Then what? Partnership. He pulls out a document, sets it on the counter. The Kims sign over the building. I renovate, expand, turn it into the restaurant my grandmother dreamed of building. He looks at her. And you run it. Amma's world stops. What? You made her recipe, perfectly. That's not something you can fake. You have her gift. His voice softens. Help me honor her memory. Keep this place alive. And I'll make sure the Kims are taken care of. Set them up with a new business, different location, fresh start. Why would you do that? Because revenge is empty. I've spent 15 years learning that. He steps closer. But creation, legacy, that means something. Amma looks at the Kims. They won't meet her eyes. Did you steal the building? She asks them. Mr. Kim finally looks up. His grandfather was dying. The restaurant was failing. He begged us to take over, to keep it alive. We thought we were saving it. You were, Sung-ho says, but you never told me. Never reached out. Just took everything and let my family fall apart. We were scared, Mrs. Kim whispers. We thought you'd hate us. I did hate you. For 15 years, Sung-ho's jaw tightens. But tonight, eating that soup, I realized something. My grandmother would have hated what I've become more than she hated losing the restaurant. He looks at Amma. So, I'm offering you all a choice. We can keep destroying each other, or we can build something new. Amma's hands shake. And my visa? Fixed. Legally. Permanently. You'll be a business partner. Documented. Protected. What's the catch? No catch. Just loyalty. You work for me. Run this restaurant. Make it everything it should have been. He pauses. And when people ask who owns it, you tell them Sung-ho Jung built it for his grandmother. It's everything a ma needs. Legal status, a job, a future the Kim saved. Everyone wins. But something in Sung-ho's eyes makes her hesitate. Something that says this deal is more than it seems. I need time, she says. You have 5 minutes. Seung-ho checks his watch. ICE raids your building in 1 hour and 12 minutes. Sign now, and I make one call. Everything stops. And if I don't sign? His expression doesn't change. Then I keep my promise. And you learn what happens to people who refuse me. The diner falls silent. Amma looks at the document, at the Kims, at Seung-ho, at the life she could have, or the life she could lose. Her hand reaches for the pen. Then her phone buzzes. Text from Kim Soo-jin. Don't sign. It's a trap. That document gives him control of you, not just the restaurant. Read the fine print. Amma's blood turns to ice. She picks up the document, scans it. Page 1, page 2, page 3. There. Buried in the legal language. Signatory agrees to exclusive employment under JH Holdings for a period of 10 years. Early termination results in full financial liability for all business debts and legal fees incurred. She's not signing a partnership. She's signing herself into slavery. You lied, she whispers. Seung-ho's eyes are empty. I told you what you wanted to hear. That's called business. This isn't business. It's ownership. It's survival. He steps closer. Sign. Or the Kims lose everything. You get deported, and tomorrow I find someone else who will sign. Amma looks at Mr. and Mrs. Kim. They're crying. She looks at the pen in her hand, then at the door. 5 minutes, Seung-ho says. Choose. Who will Amma choose, herself or the Kims? Drop a comment with what you would do, because what happens next will shock you to your core. Amma sets down the pen. No. The word hangs in the air like a gunshot. Seung-ho's expression doesn't change, but something dark flashes behind his eyes. No? You heard me. Amma stands. I'm not signing my life away. Then you're signing their death sentence. He gestures to the Kims. They have 3 weeks before the eviction. No money, no options, nowhere to go. We'll figure something out. There is no figuring out. Seung-ho's voice drops. I own this city, the banks, the lawyers, the judges. You can't fight me. No one can. Watch me. She turns to leave. One more step and I make the call. Amma freezes, hand on the door handle. Ice. Right now. Your apartment. Your neighbors will watch you get arrested, handcuffed, dragged away. His voice is poison. Is that really how you want this to end? Amma's hand shakes on the door. Mrs. Kim stands. Amma, please, just sign it. We'll figure out the rest later. Don't. Amma doesn't turn around. Don't let him win. He's already won, Mr. Kim says quietly. He won the moment we agreed to meet him here. Then we take the loss. Amma finally turns, looks at them. But we take it with our dignity. Seung-ho laughs, cold, cruel. Dignity doesn't pay rent, doesn't keep you in this country, doesn't save failing restaurants. No, but it's the one thing you can't buy. Amma meets his eyes. And the one thing that scares you. His smile vanishes. Careful. Why? What are you going to do? Destroy me? You were going to do that anyway. She steps closer. That's what people like you do. You take and take and take until there's nothing left. Then you move on to the next victim. I'm not the villain here. No, you're worse. Amma's voice shakes with rage. You're the villain who thinks he's the hero, who justifies every awful thing because of some old hurt. Your grandmother would be ashamed of what you've become. The room goes silent. Seung-ho's jaw clenches. His hands curl into fists. Then he pulls out his phone. Last chance, he says. Make the call. He dials, puts it on speaker. A man answers. Sir? Execute the tip, now. Copy that. The line cuts. Seung-ho looks at Amma. You have 30 minutes before ICE arrives at your building. Hope your dignity keeps you warm on the deportation flight. He walks past her, stops at the door. You could have had everything. Legal status, a career, a future. He looks back. Instead, you chose to be noble. Let me know how that works out. The door swings shut. Silence. Then Mrs. Kim collapses into a chair, sobbing. Amma's legs finally give out. She sits on the floor, back against the wall, stares at nothing. "What have I done?" she whispers. "What you had to," Mr. Kim says. "What we should have done 15 years ago, stand up to him. And now we lose everything." "Maybe. But at least we lose it with our souls intact." Amma closes her eyes. 29 minutes left. Then ICE comes. Then her life in America ends. Then her phone buzzes. Text from Kim Soo-jin. "Don't go to your apartment. Come to this address. I can help." An address in Chinatown, 30 minutes away. Another text. "I know people. Off the books. Can get you somewhere safe until we figure this out." Amma stares at the screen. Run and hide, or stay and face the consequences. "Go," Mr. Kim says. "We'll be fine. I can't leave you. You can and you will." He pulls her up. "We've survived worse than Sung-ho Jang. We'll survive this too." "But, go!" Mrs. Kim wipes her eyes, stands. "You fought for us. Now let us fight for you." Amma's vision blurs. She hugs them both, hard, fast. Then she's out the door, running. 26 minutes. She flags a cab, gives the address. The driver guns it. Los Angeles blurs past. Lights. People. A city full of lives that don't know hers is ending. Her phone rings. Unknown number. She answers. "Running won't save you." Sung-ho's voice. "I have eyes everywhere. Then you'll see me disappear." "No one disappears from me. Not really. I always find them. Then I guess I'll be the first." She hangs up. The cab pulls up to a narrow alley in Chinatown. Dingy buildings, rusted fire escapes, the kind of place where people come to not be found. Amma pays, gets out, walks into the alley. A door opens. Kim Soo-jin steps out. "Hurry!" Amma follows her inside. Up 3 flights of stairs, into a small apartment. Boxes everywhere, clothes piled, everything temporary, like Soo-jin could bolt at any second. "You're safe here," Soo-jin says. "For now." "For how long?" "As long as it takes to—" The door explodes inward. 4 men in suits storm in, guns drawn. Amma screams. Soo-jin throws her hands up. "No, wait, she's not—" One man grabs Amma, slams her against the wall. "Amma Okafor, you're under arrest for immigration violations." But they're not ICE agents. Amma sees it in their eyes, their movements, the way they're dressed. They're Seong-ho's men. "Let her go." Soo-jin lunges forward. One man backhands her. She drops. Amma struggles. "You're not cops, you can't—" "We can do whatever we want." The man holding her leans close. "Mr. Jang sends his regards." They drag her out. Down the stairs, into a black SUV waiting in the alley. Soo-jin's voice echoes from above, screaming, calling for help. But no one comes. No one ever comes. The SUV peels away. Amma sits in the back seat. 2 men on either side, guns in their laps. "Where are you taking me?" Her voice shakes. The driver meets her eyes in the rearview mirror, smiles. "Somewhere you can think about your choices." They drive for 20 minutes, out of the city, into the hills, where houses become estates, where money builds walls. The SUV stops at a gate, private property, high fences, cameras everywhere. The gate opens. They drive through, pull up to a mansion, modern, glass, steel, beautiful and terrifying. The men pull her out, walk her to the door. It opens before they reach it. Sung-ho stands in the doorway, changed into casual clothes, jeans, black t-shirt, hair down. He looks younger, almost human. "Thank you, gentlemen." He waves them away. "I'll take it from here." They leave. Amma and Sung-ho, alone. "Welcome to my home," he says. "You'll be staying here for a while." "You kidnapped me. I invited you, aggressively." He steps aside. "Come in. We have a lot to discuss." "I'm not going anywhere with you." "You don't have a choice. ICE raided your apartment 14 minutes ago. Found all your things. Documented everything. There's a warrant for your arrest." He pauses. Out there, you're hunted. In here, you're protected. Protected? Or imprisoned? That depends on you. He walks inside, leaves the door open. Amma stands on the threshold, freedom behind her, capture ahead. But out there, she has no papers, no home, no safety, just a manhunt and deportation. In there, she doesn't know, but staying outside isn't an option anymore. She steps inside. The door clicks shut behind her. Sung-ho turns, looks at her. Now, he says quietly, let's talk about what happens next. And Amma realizes with crushing certainty, the game isn't over. It's just beginning. What is Sung-ho really planning for Amma? Drop your wildest theories in the comments because what's coming will break the internet. The glass shatters against the wall. Amma stands in Sung-ho's living room, chest heaving. The wine bottle she just threw lying in pieces on the marble floor. Red liquid drips down the white wall like blood. Feel better? Sung-ho doesn't move from his chair, doesn't even flinch, just watches her with those cold, calculating eyes. You kidnapped me. I saved you. There's a difference. Saved me? Amma's laugh comes out broken. You destroyed my life, threatened the Kims, got me hunted by ICE, and now you're holding me prisoner in your house. That's not saving. That's control. Control keeps you alive. He stands, walks to the window. Los Angeles spreads out below them, millions of lights, millions of lives, all of them moving forward while hers stands still. Out there, you're wanted. Hunted. One wrong move and you're on a plane back to Nigeria. In here, you have time. Space. A chance to think. Think about what? About why you're really fighting me. He turns. It's not about the diner, not really. It's about power. You've spent your whole life powerless. Poor immigrant, no papers, no voice, just surviving. His voice drops. And the moment someone offers you real power, you throw a bottle at the wall. I don't want your power. Everyone wants power. They just call it different things. Freedom, security, respect. He walks closer. What do you call it, Amma? She doesn't answer, can't answer, because somewhere deep down she knows he's right. The mansion is massive, floor-to-ceiling windows, modern furniture, art that probably costs more than she'll make in her lifetime. Everything perfect, everything cold. Why am I here? She asks. Because you remind me of someone. Your grandmother? Myself. He pours himself a drink, doesn't offer her one. 20 years ago, I was just like you. Angry, desperate, fighting a system designed to crush me. He takes a sip. Then I learned the truth. You can't fight the system. You become it. And that's what you want? For me to become like you? I want you to stop wasting your potential on a losing battle. He sets down the glass. The Kims are finished. Nothing you do will change that. But you? You have something rare. Talent. Determination. The ability to make something perfect from nothing. The soup. The soup. The way you handled yourself in my office. The way you threw that bottle. He almost smiles. You're not a victim, Amma. You're a fighter, and fighters don't waste time on lost causes. The Kims aren't a lost cause. They are, and you know it. He pulls out his phone, shows her the screen. It's a photo. The diner. Windows dark. A foreclosure notice on the door. Amma's stomach drops. When did you? 2 hours ago. While you were running. The eviction order was expedited. The Kims have 72 hours to clear out. He puts the phone away. They're done. Question is, are you? Her hands shake. The Kims. Her family. Everything she fought for. Gone. You did this. I accelerated the inevitable. Saved them the pain of dragging it out. He steps closer. Now I'm offering you a way forward. A real one. The contract. The one that makes me your slave. The one that makes you my partner. He pulls a new document from his jacket. different, shorter. I had it rewritten. No exclusivity clause, no 10-year commitment, just a simple agreement. You help me rebuild the restaurant. 1 year. At the end, you walk away with legal status, money in the bank, and skills that can take you anywhere. Amma stares at the paper. Why would you do that? Because I want to prove something. His voice changes. Softer, more human. That I'm not the monster you think I am. That maybe my grandmother would be proud of what I'm building. For the first time since meeting him, Amma sees something real in Seung-ho's eyes. Not ice, not calculation. Pain. Raw and deep and old. She never saw you become this, Amma says quietly. She died before I became what I had to become to survive. He looks away. She taught me to cook, to care, to see people as more than transactions. Then she died and I learned that caring gets you nothing but grief. That's not true. Isn't it? The Kims cared, took over our restaurant, kept it alive. And what did they get? Me. Coming back 15 years later to take everything. His jaw clenches. Caring is a luxury poor people can't afford. Then why do you care about the recipe? About the restaurant? He doesn't answer, just stares out the window at the city he owns. Amma picks up the new contract, reads it. Every word, every line. It's clean, fair. Everything he promised, too fair. What's the real reason? She asks. Why me? Why this restaurant? Why any of it? Seung-ho closes his eyes, takes a breath. Because my grandmother's last words to me were, "Don't become cold." His voice cracks, and I've spent 15 years proving her wrong, building an empire, crushing anyone who got in my way, becoming exactly what she feared. He opens his eyes, looks at her. Then you served me that soup. Perfect. Just like hers. And for 5 minutes I wasn't cold anymore. I was 17 again, in her kitchen, safe. The room falls silent. Amma's throat tightens. So, this is about redemption. This is about proving I'm not completely lost. He holds out a pen. Help me. 1 year. Rebuild the restaurant. Make it what it should have been, and maybe he stops. Maybe we both find something we didn't know we were looking for. Amma looks at the contract, at the pen, at Seung-ho's face. Vulnerable for the first time since she met him. She thinks about the Kims, about their lies, about how they took his family's restaurant and never looked back. She thinks about herself, about survival, about the choice between principle and pragmatism. Her hand reaches for the pen, then her phone rings. She looks at the screen. Mrs. Kim, she answers, puts it on speaker. Amma. Mrs. Kim's voice is shaking. They're here. The men. They're taking everything. Our equipment, our photos, everything. Seung-ho's expression doesn't change. Mrs. Kim, we don't blame you. We should have told you the truth from the beginning. About Seung-ho's family, about what we did. She's crying now. We were cowards. We knew this day would come. We just hoped. Her voice breaks. Take the deal. Whatever he's offering. Save yourself. Don't end up like us. The line goes dead. Amma stares at the phone, then at Seung-ho. Did you have them call? No. But I'm not surprised they did. He sets the pen on the contract. They know how this ends. They've always known. Amma's hand hovers over the pen. Everything she wanted. Legal status, a future. A way out of this nightmare. All she has to do is sign her name. All she has to do is betray everything she believed in. Her fingers close around the pen. What will Amma choose? Her soul or her survival? Comment below because the next chapter will destroy you. Amma signs her name. The pen scratches across the paper. 4 seconds. That's all it takes to sell herself. Seung-ho picks up the contract. Doesn't smile, doesn't celebrate. Just folds it carefully. Puts it in his pocket. Smart choice. Don't. Ama's voice is hollow. Don't pretend this is smart. This is surrender. No, this is survival. There's a difference. He walks to a cabinet, pulls out a folder, drops it on the table. Your new identity. Legal work visa. Social security number, bank account with $50,000. Ama stares at the folder. $50,000. More money than she's seen in her life. That's your signing bonus, plus salary of $8,000 a month during the rebuild. At the end of the year, another $100,000, and full ownership of your immigration status. Her hands shake as she opens the folder. Everything's there. Official documents, her face on a work visa, her name, legally recognized. How did you? I have people. They move fast when properly motivated. He pours himself another drink. You start tomorrow, 6 a.m. The construction crew arrives at 7. You'll oversee everything. Design, menu, hiring. I want your fingerprints on every detail. Why? Because when it's done, when people eat there, I want them to taste what you made, not what I bought. He looks at her. I can buy buildings. I can't buy what you have. And what's that? Soul. The word hangs between them. Heavy. True. Ama stands. Her legs feel weak. Can I see the Kims? One last time? No. Please. Just to say goodbye. No. His voice hardens. You signed the contract. That life is over. The Kims. Your apartment. Everything. You work for me now. And the first rule is, don't look back. They're my family. They were your family, built on lies. He steps closer. You want to help them? Build this restaurant. Make it so successful that when people talk about it, they remember what the Kims started. That's the only tribute worth giving. Ama's eyes burn. She won't cry, won't give him that. Where do I stay? Here. 3rd floor, east wing. Your room's ready. Clothes in the closet. Everything you need. I'm a prisoner. You're an employee. With housing included. He walks to the door, opens it. But if you want to leave, door's right there. Go ahead. See how far you get before ICE picks you up. Yabansar looks at the open door, at the night beyond, at freedom that isn't really freedom at all. She doesn't move. Shung-ho closes the door. Thought so. Get some sleep. Tomorrow's going to be long. He leaves. Ama stands alone in the massive living room. The broken glass still on the floor. The wine stain still on the wall. She sinks to the floor, pulls her knees to her chest, and finally, alone, she lets herself cry. 3 floors up. In a bedroom bigger than her entire apartment, Ama can't sleep. The bed is too soft. The sheets too expensive. Everything smells like money and emptiness. She gets up, walks to the window. Los Angeles glitters below. Somewhere down there, the Kims are packing their life into boxes. Somewhere, her old apartment sits empty. Somewhere, the person she was yesterday is dying. Her phone buzzes. Text from unknown number. You signed it. You actually signed it. I tried to warn you. Kim Soo-jin. Ama types back. What choice did I have? You could have run, really run, out of the state, out of the country, anywhere but here. I'm tired of running. Then you're going to learn what happens to people who stop. He owns you now, completely. And when he's done with you, there won't be anything left. Ama deletes the conversation, blocks the number. She can't think about that. Can't think about what she's become. A knock on the door. She freezes. Who is it? Me. Shung-ho's voice. Can I come in? It's your house. The door opens. He's changed. Sweatpants, t-shirt, hair wet from a shower. He looks almost normal, almost human. Can't sleep either? He asks. What do you want? He holds up a container. Leftover kimchi jjigae from that night. Mrs. Kim gave me the recipe before she left. Thought you might be hungry. Ama's throat tightens. She gave you the recipe? Not gave. Sold. For enough money to start over somewhere else. He sets the container on the dresser. Texas, Houston, Korean community there will take care of them. They'll be fine. You paid them off. I gave them a future, same as you. He turns to leave, stops. For what it's worth, I know what you're feeling. That hollow space where your principles used to be. Where you thought you were one kind of person and had to become another to survive. How long until it stops hurting? He looks back. His eyes are tired, old. It doesn't. You just get used to it. He leaves. Amma stares at the container, opens it. The smell hits her. Home, family, everything she lost. She takes a bite. It tastes like goodbye. The next morning, Amma stands in front of the gutted diner at 5:47 a.m. The windows are boarded up. The sign is gone. Everything that made it Elder's Diner has been stripped away. A construction truck pulls up. Workers pile out. Foreman walks over. You Amma? Yeah. Boss says you're in charge. Where do you want us to start? Amma looks at the empty shell, at the space where the counter used to be, where she served her first customer, where she learned to make kimchi jjigae, where she became family. Tear it all down, she says. Everything. Start from nothing. The foreman grins. My favorite kind of job. The crew gets to work. Sledgehammers, drills. The sound of destruction fills the morning air. Seung-ho's car pulls up. He gets out, stands beside her. You sure about this? He asks. No, but it's too late to be sure about anything. She watches another wall come down. You said you wanted my fingerprints on everything. This is me, burning it all down to build something new. Good. He hands her an envelope. Designs. 3 options. Pick one. She opens it. Architectural drawings. Modern. Sleek. Beautiful. Nothing like the old diner. These are all wrong, she says. Excuse me? Your grandmother wouldn't recognize any of these. Too cold. Too corporate. She hands them back. Let me design it. You're not an architect. No, but I know what a home feels like. And that's what this place was. Before. You. Before me. Before everything. She looks at him. You want soul? Let me give you soul. For a long moment, he just stares at her. Then he hands her the envelope. Surprise me. 6 hours later, Amma sits in the construction office trailer with a pencil and paper. She's not an artist. Her drawings are rough, basic, but they're real. The diner in her mind isn't modern, it's warm, wood and brick. Large windows that let in light. An open kitchen where customers can watch the cooks. Booth seating, old-style counter, pictures on the walls, not of celebrities or fake nostalgia, but of real people. The community. She draws for hours, erases, redraws, gets it wrong, gets it right, gets it perfect. By 7 p.m. she has it, the diner as it should have been, as it could be, as it will be. She takes a photo, sends it to Seung-ho. His response comes back immediately. This is nothing like what I asked for. Her heart sinks. Then another message. This is perfect. She exhales, leans back in the chair, closes her eyes. Maybe. Maybe this can work. Maybe she can build something beautiful from something broken. Maybe? Her phone rings. Unknown number. She almost doesn't answer. Then she does. Hello? Heavy breathing. Then a voice she doesn't recognize. Rough. Angry. You think you won? Who is this? Someone who knows what you did. How you betrayed them. The Kims trusted you, and you sold them out. I didn't. You signed with him. Took his money, his status, his promises, while they lost everything. The voice drops lower. People like you? Who trade loyalty for comfort? You don't get happy endings. What do you want? To watch you learn the same lesson the Kims learned. That Seung-ho Jang doesn't save people. He collects them, uses them, then throws them away when he's done. The line cuts. Amma sits in the dark trailer, alone. The construction site quiet now that the workers have left. Her phone buzzes again. Text from Seung-ho. Meeting tomorrow. 8 a.m. My office. Be ready. to present your design. She types back, "I'll be there." She looks at her drawings, at the dream she's building, at the deal she made with the devil, and she wonders, is this redemption or damnation? The answer, she suspects, will destroy her either way. What dark secret is about to surface? Hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss what happens next. Drop a comment sharing your thoughts. Your words might inspire someone facing their own impossible choice. The boardroom smells like money and betrayal. Amma stands at the head of the table, her drawings spread out in front of 12 people she's never met. Investors, developers, people who look at her like she's a problem to be solved. Sung-ho sits at the far end, expressionless, watching. "This is your design?" A woman in a power suit sneers at the sketches. "For a multi-million-dollar property? Yes. It looks like a diner my grandmother would eat at." That's the point. Laughter around the table. Cold. Dismissive. The woman leans forward. "Mr. Jang, with all due respect, this is not what we invested in. We were promised luxury, Michelin star potential, not some nostalgic tribute to 'It's perfect'." Seung-ho's voice cuts through the room. "Exactly what I wanted." The room goes silent. "But the projected returns," another man starts, "will exceed your expectations. This isn't about luxury for tourists, it's about authenticity for locals. About building something that lasts." Seung-ho stands, walks to Amma's drawings, studies them. "This is what I hired her for. If anyone has a problem with that, the door's right there." No one moves. "Good. Meeting adjourned. Construction starts tomorrow." "Amma, stay." The investors file out, whispering, glaring, making it clear she's not welcome in their world. When they're gone, Sung-ho turns to her. "That was a test." "What?" "To see if you'd fold under pressure. Change your design to please them." He rolls up her sketches carefully. "You didn't. Good. You set me up. I put you in the situation you'll face every day once this place opens. Critics, investors, people who think they know better." He hands her the drawings. "You need to learn to stand your ground, starting now." Amma's hands shake with anger. "You could have warned me. And ruined the lesson?" "No." He walks to the window. "You did well. But there's something we need to discuss." Her stomach drops. "What?" "The Kims contacted you last night, didn't they?" "How did you—" "I monitor all calls in and out of my property. Security measure." He doesn't turn around. "What did they want?" Amma's mind races. The Kims didn't call. Someone else did. Someone warning her, threatening her. If she tells him the truth, he'll know someone's targeting her, working against him. If she lies, he might already know. "They didn't call," she says carefully. "It was someone else, someone angry about what happened to the Kims." "Name?" "They didn't give one." Now he turns. His eyes are ice again. "What did they say?" "That I betrayed the Kims. That I traded loyalty for comfort. That—" She stops. "That you don't save people. You collect them." Sung-ho's jaw clenches. "Interesting. Who would say that?" "Someone who doesn't understand business. Or loyalty. Or the difference between saving and enabling." He walks closer. "The Kims were drowning. Had been for years. I gave them a life raft and they took it. That's not betrayal. That's mercy." "Then why do I feel like I abandoned them?" "Because guilt is easier than acceptance." He stops in front of her. "You want to know the truth about the Kims? The real truth? I thought you already told me. I told you the legal truth. Property. Debt. Foreclosure. But there's more." He pulls out his phone, shows her a photo. "This is my grandfather, the day he signed everything over to them." The photo shows an old man in a hospital bed, thin, dying. And beside him, Mr. and Mrs. Kim, young, smiling, holding papers. He was on morphine, barely conscious, and they convinced him to sign. Sung-ho's voice hardens. My mother tried to stop it, said he wasn't in his right mind. But the Kims had a lawyer, made it legal, ironclad. Amma's stomach turns. No. They said he asked them to take over, to save the restaurant. That's their version. Want to hear mine? He swipes to another photo. Legal documents, a lawsuit. My family fought for 2 years, lost everything. The restaurant, our savings, our dignity. My mother worked 3 jobs trying to keep us afloat. Died of a heart attack when I was 23. His voice cracks. The Kims got everything. We got nothing. Why didn't you tell me this before? Because I wanted you to make your choice based on who you are, not who they are. He puts the phone away. But now you need to know. The people you're feeling guilty about abandoning? They destroyed my family, and I've spent 15 years making sure they couldn't do it to anyone else. Amma sits down. Her legs won't hold her anymore. Everything she thought she knew, wrong. Every choice she made, based on lies. They took me in when I had nothing, she whispers, and I'm grateful they did, because without them, you wouldn't be here now. He crouches down, eye level. But gratitude doesn't mean you owe them your life. It means you honor what they gave you by becoming something they never could. Honest, you're asking me to believe you over them. I'm asking you to believe the evidence, the documents, the timeline, the truth. He stands. But if you need more proof, I can arrange for you to speak to the lawyer who handled the case, the hospital records, everything. No. Amma closes her eyes. I believe you. Why? Because if you were lying, you would have told me this story first, before I signed, to manipulate me. She opens her eyes, looks at him. You waited. Let me make my own choice. That's not what liars do. For the first time since meeting him, Sung-ho looks surprised. Then something else, something softer. You're smarter than I gave you credit for. Don't sound so shocked. He almost smiles. Almost. Come on, I want to show you something. He drives her to a house in the suburbs, small, old, run down. What is this place? Amma asks. My childhood home, where I lived until my mother died. He gets out, walks to the front door. It's abandoned now, boarded up, forgotten. Amma follows him. He pulls out a key, unlocks the door, steps inside. The house is empty, dusty, but the bones are good. High ceilings, original hardwood, large windows. I bought it 3 years ago, Sung-ho says. Haven't touched it. Can't bring myself to tear it down or renovate it. Just sits here, frozen. Why are you showing me this? He walks to the kitchen, runs his hand along the counter. Because this is where my grandmother taught me to cook, where she made kimchi jjigae every Sunday, where I learned that food is more than sustenance. It's memory, love, home. Amma stands in the doorway, watching him, seeing him differently. Not as a monster, not as a savior, just as a man carrying too much weight. When she died, I thought I'd never taste it again, he continues. Then you served it to me. Perfect. Like she was still here. Like I hadn't lost everything. He looks at her. That's why I need this restaurant to work. Not for money. Not for revenge. But because it's the only piece of her I have left. Then why did you wait 15 years? Because I wasn't ready. I was too angry, too hurt, too... He stops. Too much like the man I am now. And she wouldn't have wanted that. So what changed? You did. He walks closer. You reminded me that anger is expensive. It costs you everything and gives you nothing. And maybe it's time to build something instead of destroying it. Amma's throat tightens. I don't know if I can do this. Neither do I. But we're going to try anyway. He holds out his hand. Partners? She looks at his hand. At the man offering it. At the choice in front of her. She takes his hand. Partners. They shake. A deal. A promise. a fragile bridge between two broken people. Then Seung-ho's phone rings. He answers, listens. His face goes pale. When? His voice is sharp. How many casualties? Amma's stomach drops. What's wrong? He hangs up, looks at her. The diner. Someone set it on fire. They race back to the construction site. Smoke billows into the sky. Fire trucks everywhere. Police, paramedics. The building is gone, gutted, black. Amma stands frozen, watching everything they planned turn to ash. A firefighter approaches. You the owner? Yes. Seung-ho's voice is hollow. What happened? Arson. Accelerant poured around the perimeter. Professional job. The firefighter hands him an evidence bag. Found this inside. It's a note, burned at the edges. But the message is clear. This is what happens when you forget where you came from. Next time it won't just be the building. Seung-ho's hand closes around the bag. His jaw clenches. Amma touches his arm. Who did this? He doesn't answer, just stares at the ruins, at the dream burning. Then he turns to her, and the look in his eyes makes her blood run cold. Someone who just made a fatal mistake. Who's behind the fire and what will Seung-ho do next? This story is about to explode. Subscribe and turn on notifications or you'll miss the most intense chapter yet. Comment your theory below and let's figure this out together. Your support keeps these stories alive. The warehouse smells like fear. Amma shouldn't be here. Seung-ho told her to go home, to let him handle this, but she followed him anyway. Watched his car pull into this abandoned building on the edge of the city. Watched him walk inside with 4 of his men. Now she stands in the shadows, watching something she'll never be able to unsee. A man is tied to a chair in the center of the warehouse. Blood drips from his nose. His left eye is swollen shut. He's maybe 30. Korean. Terrified. Seung-ho circles him slowly, methodically. One more time, Seung-ho says. His voice is calm, too calm. Who hired you to burn down my property? I don't know. The man's voice shakes. I swear, it was all anonymous. Money dropped at a location. Instructions left in... Seung-ho nods to one of his men. The man steps forward, hits the tied man across the face. Amma flinches, covers her mouth to keep from gasping. I don't believe you, Seung-ho says. Professional arson jobs aren't contracted through anonymous drops. There's always a connection. Always a trail. He leans down, eye level. So tell me, who wanted to send me a message? I can't. The man is crying now. They'll kill me, my family, everyone Another hit, this one harder. I can kill you faster, Seung-ho says, and I promise it'll be cleaner than whatever they're threatening. The man sobs. It was someone from the old neighborhood, someone who said you betrayed the community, that you were supposed to help people, not destroy them. Name. Park, Jinsu Park. He runs a community center in Koreatown, said you've been buying up properties and driving out families, that someone needed to stop you. Seung-ho straightens, pulls out his phone, makes a call. Find Jinsu Park, bring him to me, alive. He hangs up, looks at the tied man. Thank you for your cooperation. He walks away. His men follow, except one, who pulls out a gun. Amma's heart stops. She wants to scream, to run, to stop this, but she can't move, can't breathe. The gunshot echoes through the warehouse. The man slumps forward, dead. Amma stumbles backward, out of the shadows, into the parking lot. Bile rises in her throat. She falls to her knees, vomits. This is who she made a deal with. This is who she shook hands with. This is who she trusted. A murderer. You shouldn't have followed me. She spins around. Seung-ho stands there, blood on his hands. Literally. You killed him. Her voice is shaking. He told you what you wanted and you killed him anyway. He burned down my property. Destroyed months of work. Put construction workers at risk. Seung-ho's voice is flat. What did you think would happen? That I'd let him walk away? I thought I thought you were different, that you wanted to change, to build something good. I am building something good, but that doesn't mean I'm good. He walks closer. You need to understand something, Amma. The world you came from, where you work hard and play by the rules and everything works out, that world doesn't exist. Not for people like us. Don't. She scrambles to her feet. Don't lump me in with you. I would never what? Fight back. Protect what's yours. He grabs her shoulders, forces her to look at him. That man tried to destroy everything we're building. He would have done it again and again until we had nothing left. Sometimes violence is the only language people understand. That's not justice. That's murder. No. Murder is what happened to my mother when she worked herself to death trying to keep our family afloat. Murder is what the Kims did to my grandfather's legacy. His grip tightens. What I did? That's consequences. Amma jerks away. I can't do this. I can't be part of this. You already are. You signed the contract, took the money, designed the restaurant. He steps closer. You're in this now. All the way. And you don't get to pretend you're innocent just because you didn't pull the trigger. I'll go to the police. No, you won't. He pulls out his phone, shows her a video. It's from tonight. Amma following him, watching the interrogation, standing there while it happened. You were there. You watched. You said nothing. In the eyes of the law, that makes you an accessory. Her world tilts. You planned this. You wanted me to follow you. I wanted you to see who I really am, what this world really requires. His voice drops. Because sooner or later you'd find out anyway. Better, now, before you get any deeper. I'm done. I'm out. No. He grabs her wrist. You're in. And you're staying in. Because if you run, if you talk, if you do anything except what I tell you, he leans close. Whispers. I'll make sure every video I have of you at that warehouse ends up with the police. You'll be arrested for accessory to murder, deported, destroyed. Amma's legs give out. She would have fallen if he wasn't holding her up. Why are you doing this? Because you're useful, and because I need someone who understands what I'm trying to build, someone who won't run when things get ugly. He lets her go. Welcome to the real world, Amma. It's not pretty, but it's honest. She stands there, shaking, trapped, completely and utterly trapped. Sung-ho walks to his car, opens the door, looks back. Construction resumes tomorrow. New site, better security. Be there at 6 a.m. We have work to do. He drives away. Amma stands alone in the parking lot. Blood on the ground, death in the air, and a choice she can never take back. That night, Amma packs her things. She's leaving. She doesn't care about the contract, about the money, about any of it. She'd rather be deported than be part of murder. She's halfway out the door when her phone rings. Unknown number. Against her better judgment, she answers. Don't leave. A woman's voice. Familiar. Kim Soo-jin. How did you I've been watching. Waiting. Hoping you'd wake up and see what he really is. Soo-jin's voice is urgent. But if you run now, he'll destroy you. And everyone you care about. I don't care. I can't stay here. I can't be part of... Then help me take him down. Silence. Then, I've been building a case against Sung-ho for 3 years. Evidence. Testimonies. Everything. But I need someone on the inside. Someone he trusts. Amma's hand freezes on her suitcase. You want me to be a spy? I want you to be the reason he finally pays for everything he's done. The murders, the extortion, all of it. Soo-jin's voice hardens. But I need proof, hard evidence, things only someone close to him can get. Why should I trust you? Because I'm the only chance you have at getting out of this with your soul intact. A pause. Meet me tomorrow night. Chinatown. Same address. I'll show you what I have. Then you decide. The line cuts. Amma sits on the bed, suitcase open, phone in her hand. Two choices: run and be destroyed, stay and become a traitor. Either way, the woman she was is gone forever. Her phone buzzes. Text from Seung-ho, 6 a.m., don't be late. She looks at the message, at the suitcase, at the door. Then she unpacks, not because she's given up, but because she's finally ready to fight back. The truth about Seung-ho is about to explode. But first you need to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss how Amma pulls this off. Drop a comment right now with what you think happens next. This story is about to reach a level you've never seen before, and your support means everything. Share your thoughts below and inspire others who might be facing their own impossible decisions. The wire feels like a snake against Amma's skin. Soojin taped it to her ribs 3 hours ago. Showed her how to activate it. How to get Seung-ho talking. How to get the confession that will destroy him. Now Amma stands in his office at 11 p.m. alone with a man who's killed before, who'll kill again if he discovers what she's doing. You wanted to see me? Her voice sounds steadier than she feels. Seung-ho doesn't look up from his computer. Close the door. She does. The click echoes like a gunshot. He finally looks at her, studies her face. Something's different about you. Her heart stops. What do you mean? You're not scared anymore. He stands, walks around the desk. Yesterday you were terrified, traumatized, ready to run. Today you're... He tilts his head. Determined. Why? Because running won't solve anything. The lie comes easier than expected. You were right. I'm already in this. Might as well see it through. Smart. He leans against the desk. Or stupid. Haven't decided which. Tell me something. Amma steps closer. Needs him talking. Needs him confessing. That man in the warehouse. How many others have there been? His eyes narrow. Why do you want to know? Because if I'm going to work for you, really work for you, I need to understand what that means. What you're capable of. She forces herself to hold his gaze. How many? Seung-ho is quiet for a long moment. Then, 17? The number hits her like a fist. 17 people. 17 lives. Over how many years? 15. Since I was 17. Started with the man who scammed my mother out of her savings after my grandfather died. Pushed him off a building, made it look like suicide. His voice is matter of fact, like he's discussing the weather. Turns out I was good at it, at making problems disappear. The wire is recording. Every word, every admission. Amma's hands shake, but she keeps them steady. And the others? Business rivals, people who tried to stop me, one reporter who got too close to the truth. He walks closer. But you want to know the interesting part? None of them were innocent. They were all predators, just smaller ones. That doesn't make it right. No, but it makes it necessary. He stops in front of her, too close. You think I wanted to become this? I wanted to be a chef, like my grandmother. Make food that brings people joy. Instead, I became a monster who kills people in warehouses. You chose this. Did I? Or did the world choose it for me when it took everything I loved? His voice rises. When the Kim stole my family's restaurant? When my mother died working 3 jobs? When every door I knocked on slammed in my face because I was just another poor Korean kid with nothing? So you decided to become worse than the people who hurt you. I decided to become powerful enough that no one could hurt me again. There's a difference. He grabs her shoulders. You'll learn that. Eventually, when someone you love is threatened and the only way to save them is to destroy someone else. Amma's breath catches. Is that what this is about? Saving people by destroying them? It's about understanding that morality is a luxury. That good and evil are just words rich people use to keep poor people in line. His grip tightens. I'm not the villain of this story, Amma. I'm just the only one honest enough to admit what survival really costs. And what does it cost? Everything. His voice drops to a whisper. Your soul. Your sleep. Every good thing you ever believed about yourself. But you survive. And sometimes that's all that matters. The Wire is getting all of it. His confessions, his philosophy, his admissions of murder. It's enough. More than enough. Amma should leave, should get this recording to Soo-jin, should end this nightmare. But something in Sung-ho's eyes stops her. Pain, real and deep and drowning. What happened to you? She whispers. Life. Death. Loss. The usual. He lets her go. Walks to the window. My grandmother used to say that anger is just love with nowhere to go. I didn't understand that until after she died. Until I realized I had so much love for her and no way to express it except through rage. So you built an empire on that rage. I built an empire to honor her memory. To prove that our family mattered. That we weren't just poor immigrants who could be erased and forgotten. He looks back. And somewhere along the way, I became everything she would have hated. Amma's throat tightens. It's not too late. To stop. To change. Yes, it is. His voice is hollow. I'm in too deep. Done too much. Hurt too many people. He walks to his desk, opens a drawer. But maybe I can save one person from becoming like me. He pulls out a gun. Amma's world stops. The Wire. He knows about the Wire. Sung-ho, relax. He sets the gun on the desk. This isn't for you. It's for me. End of the month. After the restaurant opens. After I finish what I started. He looks at her. I'm tired, Amma. Tired of being the monster. Tired of waking up with blood on my hands. Tired of everything. You're talking about suicide. I'm talking about finally resting. There's a difference. He picks up the gun, weighs it. But first I need to make sure the restaurant succeeds, that my grandmother's legacy lives on, that something good comes from all this destruction. And then what? You just disappear? Something like that. He puts the gun away. But you'll be fine. The restaurant will be yours. Legally, completely, everything I promised. You'll have the life you deserved, the life I couldn't give myself. Amma can't breathe, can't think. This man, this murderer, this monster is planning to die. And somehow, impossibly, she feels something for him. Not love, not even sympathy, just recognition of two people destroyed by the same world, taking different paths to the same end. Don't do it, she says. Why not? Because she stops, tries to find words. Because maybe there's another way. Maybe you can still what? Become good? Find redemption? He laughs bitterly. I'm past saving. We both know that. But you? He walks to her, cups her face. You still have a chance. Don't waste it. Her phone buzzes. Text from Soo-jin. Do you have it? The confession? Amma looks at Sung-ho, at the broken man behind the monster, at the evidence that could destroy him. She thinks about the 17 people he killed, about justice, about revenge. Then she thinks about his grandmother, about the restaurant, about the chance to build something beautiful from something broken. Her hand moves to the wire, to the off switch. What are you doing? Sung-ho sees it, sees everything. His face goes white. You're recording this. He grabs her, rips open her shirt, sees the wire taped to her skin. They stare at each other. Predator and prey, betrayer and betrayed. Who sent you? His voice is ice. Someone who wants justice. Justice. He laughs, pulls the wire off her, crushes it under his foot. There is no justice, just winners and losers. And you just became a loser. He reaches for the gun. Amma runs, out the door, down the hall, into the elevator. Her hands slam the button. The doors close just as Sung-ho reaches them. She hears him screaming her name, pounding on the doors. The elevator descends. Her heart pounds. She can't believe she's alive. Can't believe she made it out. The doors open. Ground floor. She runs into the lobby and stops. Soo-jin stands there, surrounded by police, FBI agents, everyone. Did you get it? Soo-jin asks. Ama looks at her, at the hope in her eyes, at the justice she's been fighting for. Then she thinks about Seung-ho, about his grandmother, about the restaurant, about the wire, crushed, destroyed, evidence gone. No, Ama whispers. The wire malfunctioned. He found it. Before, gunshots. From upstairs. 3 of them. Then silence. Everyone freezes. The police rush to the elevators, up to Seung-ho's office. Ama stands in the lobby, knowing what they'll find. Soo-jin grabs her shoulders. What happened up there? But Ama can't answer, can't speak, can only stare at the elevator doors. 10 minutes later, a detective comes down. His face is grim. Seung-ho Jang is dead, self-inflicted gunshot wound, he's gone. The world tilts, spins, stops. Ama sinks to the floor, covers her face. She didn't pull the trigger, but she knows the truth. She killed him anyway. What happens now that Seung-ho is gone? Subscribe and turn on notifications because Chapter 10 will reveal a twist that changes everything. Comment below with how you're feeling right now. This story isn't over yet, and what comes next will leave you speechless. Your engagement keeps these powerful stories alive. 3 months later, Ama stands in front of a restaurant, not the diner. Something new, something hers. The sign reads, Halmioni's Kitchen, Grandmother's Kitchen. The grand opening is tonight. Invitation only. Press. Food critics. Everyone who matters. Inside, the space is exactly as she designed it. Warm wood, soft lighting. Open kitchen. Pictures on the walls, not of Seung-ho's family, but of hers, her mother in Nigeria, her journey to America. The Kims, who came to the opening despite everything. They stand in the corner now, older, tired, but smiling. He would have been proud, Mr. Kim says quietly. Ama doesn't ask who he means. She knows. The inheritance was a surprise. Everything Seung-ho owned, the properties, the money, the empire, left to her in a will no one knew existed, with one condition: use it to build something that honors his grandmother's memory. So she did. Sold most of it, kept the restaurant, used the money to create a foundation that helps immigrant families keep their businesses, that fights gentrification, that does what Seung-ho should have done from the start. He was complicated, Ama finally says. He was hurt, Mrs. Kim corrects. There's a difference. The doors open. Guests stream in. The kitchen comes alive. Servers move, music plays, life happens, and on the menu, featured prominently, kimchi jjigae, his grandmother's recipe, passed down through generations, through pain and loss, and finally, love. Ama watches from the kitchen, sees people eat, smile, feels something real. This is what he wanted, what he couldn't build himself, what it took his death to create. Her phone buzzes. Unknown number. She almost ignores it, then opens it. A video file, no message. She clicks play. It's Seung-ho, recorded before he died, sitting in his office, looking directly at the camera. If you're watching this, I'm gone. Good. He takes a breath. I left you everything because you're the only person who ever looked at me and saw someone worth saving. Even when I wasn't. He pauses. The restaurant is yours. The money is yours. The future is yours. Build something I couldn't. Be someone I wasn't. His voice cracks. And tell my grandmother's story. Not mine, hers. She deserves to be remembered as more than the woman whose grandson became a monster. The video cuts to black. Then text appears. There's one more thing you should know. Ama's breath catches. More text. The fire at the diner. Jinsu Park. The man in the warehouse. None of it was real. Her world stops. I staged everything. The arson. The interrogation. The murder. All of it. To see if you'd break. If you'd run. If you'd become like me. Ama's hands shake. You didn't. You stayed. You fought. You tried to save me even after seeing the worst of what I could be. That's why you get everything, because you're the only one who passed the test. The video ends with one final message. The man in the warehouse is alive, living in Seattle under a new identity. Jinsu Park never existed. And me? I'm exactly where I deserve to be. Free. The phone slips from Amma's hands. It was all a lie, a test, a game, and she doesn't know if that makes it better or worse. You okay? A voice behind her, one of the cooks. Amma picks up the phone, deletes the video, turns around. Yeah, I'm fine. She looks out at the restaurant, at the people eating, at the life she built from ashes and lies and impossible choices. I'm exactly where I need to be. The cook nods, goes back to work. Amma stands in the kitchen, watching steam rise from pots, hearing laughter from the dining room, smelling food that tastes like home. And somewhere, maybe in another city or another country or another life, Seung-ho Jung is alive, free, finally free from the monster he built. She hopes his grandmother would be proud. She hopes someday she'll be proud too. But tonight, she just cooks, serves, builds, and tries not to think about the man who gave her everything by taking everything away. The restaurant fills, the night goes on, and Amma's life, her real life, finally begins. But in the back of her mind, one question lingers. If Seung-ho's alive, where is he? And when will he come back? This story shook you, didn't it? But here's the thing. Stories like this, stories about survival, redemption, and impossible choices, they need your support to keep reaching people who need them. Hit that subscribe button right now and turn on all notifications so you never miss another powerful story like this one. Drop a comment below telling us what you felt during this journey. Did Amma make the right choices? Was Seung-ho a monster or a victim? Your thoughts matter. Your voice matters. And someone reading your comment might find the strength they need for their own impossible situation. This is just the beginning. More stories are coming. Stories that will challenge you, inspire you, and remind you that even in the darkest moments, there's always a choice. Always hope. Always a way forward. See you in the next one. And remember, your story matters too.